X-Men 97 has just wrapped up season 1. So let's talk about it. Now, I am a big fan of X-Men the Animated Series, which preludes X-Men 97. That show, I finished watching the 5 seasons. It was pretty much, I really enjoyed it, a great watch. And then, so to excite myself and get ready for X-Men 97. And after, watching the show, it was worth it. And it was just so good. And let's start, and let's talk about the good stuff. Overall, I would say pretty much the majority of the show works and really does a well job of it. It takes the X Men characters and the source material and makes it into episodes and just expands on the character lore, stories, pretty much all of it. It gives you massive themes, like the theme where it begs the question: is Charles right? But this time we're actually pointing towards Magneto more, and that is very powerful for X Men as it focused on that. And also, it does some major storylines we get in the MCU, but actually does it well and actually execute it properly than these MCU projects, which actually got a TV show or a movie for, which is pretty surprising. And it does stuff that also make you. It also feels like a soap opera in a way. Like there's a lot of it balances so much as it's building around romance, comedy, action, drama, especially the drama, and it just keeps on working as you get through the show. And like honestly, I don't really have a character I hated at all. Like I really liked all the characters, and you get a lot of characters through the show. Like you get about 17 characters you get to know throughout this season, and all of them are great in their own ways. You don't really get like you don't get like a full arc for every character. Each of them gets their moments, and each of them, when it's their time to shine, they deliver. And yeah, so it was great. And also, the show does things that you're kind of surprised it's allowed to get away with. Like, there's definitely some scenes where you're gonna sit like you're surprised that they're able to get away with this. And there's also death in the scene, and they go to real world themes that you are just surprised, and you can learn that Marvel can actually go to those places that you say is kind of off limits because it's really not, and they can do it well, and it could just really be a good thing. And I would take that as a big lesson from the show, as you can do things. You don't have to be like too, because a lot of recent Marvel projects, I would say, it feels like they've been playing it safe. And with X Men '97, kind of just proves that they don't really have to. You can be a little risky if there's a good vision and it will pay off. So yeah. Also, I did like the villains. You don't really get too much into the villains as much as the heroes, but the villains are very interesting, and you get a lot of great things. And also, another big point: the animation is some of the best animation I've ever seen. It is absolutely well done, and you just love it. Another thing that is so great about this show is that it's focusing on the lesser known heroes of X Men, as you get a main focus into the characters of Cyclops, Jean Grey, Gambit, Rogue, Jubilee gets a lot of focus. And you get a little bit less focus from characters like Professor X, Beast, and Wolverine, because they would have the focus from the Fox era of the movies. So it's great to see these other characters who are really good, have such good storylines, get the treatment that they really deserve. And you just really enjoy having it there. Another thing, which is really good about the show is the world building. Since this takes place in a established Marvel universe, you get to see things with Genosha with a bunch of mutants, and it's not just about mutants and political figures. It's political. There's a lot of political aspects into this series. You can also see these cameos throughout the show from other Marvel heroes, especially in the world of New York. That you can see Captain America as he was in the trailers, and you get like a bunch of other ones who just are there because this is the Marvel universe, and it doesn't really use the cameos as plot convenience or like oh we're using their hook for getting into the show. They're more just very small parts of it and more just like treats to the audience who's been paying attention to this universe they've been building and from the 90s as it is a continuation from then. And when you see it, it's like, oh, look at that. Oh, look at that. Spider. It's like, oh my gosh, all these other shows. And you just really enjoy it. And it just really makes you want to see more of these shows. And I've been seeing things like bring Spider-Man 98, bring Avengers, bring Fantastic Four. Like they want to see all these shows from the 90s. Bring a Daredevil show. Like make a 90s connected universe. As it kind of did when it was the 90s. Because most people just been loving the show and it really shows dessert. And also, another thing is they didn't spend too much time in the finale setting up for the second season. They spent enough time, like in the very end, which feels like the right amount. And I think all the arcs work together. But then let me just go into like the thing where it kind of a little mixed apart. So I've been hearing a lot of disappointment, like maybe like they were giving Wolverine too much of the backseat. I don't believe that's true at all. Like I'm a big Wolverine fan. Wolverine's one of my top heroes. If I had to make a Mount Rushmore of heroes, I would definitely consider Wolverine to be a part of it. That's my number 4. But I think it's good that you're giving him a step back. We are getting Deadpool Wolverine this July, and we had a lot of Wolverine recency. And it's not like he doesn't get any moments as he's like a background character. He does get his moments. There are a lot of moments where you're gonna really enjoy your Wolverine. Sure, it's not gonna be as much as a full arc, but you're gonna get some Wolverine and a lot of other characters you're gonna get. And it gives you and also the show is very much a Magneto focused show. With that and even though Magneto did get a lot of focus in the Fox era, I think how they did it works and it does give all the other characters a lot of chemistry with the other characters, and it's just very enjoyable. Another like negative is about Morph, and it's like because Morph, because Morph's whole power is he's a shapeshifter, so he's like cameo Palooza. I thought Morph it brings a fun aspect. It's not like a big negative. It's not even a negative at all for me. It is actually a pro and it's fun and he's a great character. That's the added. So yeah, not really. And for me, if I have to go for negatives, I don't really have any negatives. I mean, maybe episodes 4 and 6 could have been better. Like they were probably the weakest episodes of this show as you kind of focus on these characters to set them up for the rest of the season as it's not really connected with the main team. But it still works and there are still really pretty good episodes that you would enjoy. But yeah. But yeah, like when you bring it together, X-Men 97 works as a continuation while also allowing new fans of Marvel to let them into the world of the X-Men. And if you really give it a chance, I'm pretty sure you'll enjoy it. But yeah, it works on almost every level, pretty much every level. It probably is the best thing Marvel has done on Disney Plus. So I completely recommend this series to pretty much everybody. If just you should give it a chance. It is a great show, and I 100% loved it. And I'm so hyped for season 2. I would give season 1 a 10 out of 10, because that's how much I really liked it. For those in the comments, let me know your thoughts of the season. But yeah, that's it.